This is a screenshot of my current YouTube analytics. My channel is receiving almost 60,000 more views than usual. My watch hours are up by 4,500, and I'm also receiving 2,000 more subscribers than usual within the past 28 days. You might be wondering, how am I doing this? How have I managed to achieve this? Well, I've made some very tactical changes to the content that I create for my YouTube channel, and I truly believe that these changes have contributed to the huge spike in views, watch hours, subscribers, the lot that my channel is currently experiencing. So if you want to know what these changes are and you just generally want some advice to make even better content for your YouTube channel, keep on watching because this video is for you. So the first and potentially the most significant change that I have made is that I've started to switch up my angles and my locations. So I'm not sure if you noticed, but I'm currently in a different place to where I was when I was doing my intro. And when I'm done with this tip, I'm going to move and be in a different place again. The reason why I've made this change is because my style of content, and some of you might relate, is very talking head, sit down content. And previously, I didn't think I needed to switch up my locations. I thought it's not about where I'm sitting or all that kind of stuff. It's more about the value that I'm delivering. And whilst I still think that is the most important thing, it is still worth noting that when you just watch a video with someone just sitting down in this location, because this is always where I used to be, and just speaking directly to the camera for 30 minutes, it can get a bit boring. Even when you've got different things flashing up on the screen, like, it can get a bit boring. So I decided to start switching up my locations whenever I make a new point, and that's really allowed me to retain the audience's attention throughout my videos, which in turn has led to more watch hours. It's led to a better view through, so more of my videos are being watched until the end, and that is all helping me when it comes to my ranking on YouTube's algorithm. A tip that I'm gonna have for you that I've only recently caught on to and it's saved me so much time. If you're gonna do a similar style of content to me and you wanna start moving around, don't do what I previously did, which was to literally move every time I was doing a different part of the video. Instead, now what I'll do is I'll set myself up with my tripod and my lighting in one position, and I'll film two parts of the videos at once. Then I'll do the setup somewhere else and I'll film another two parts of the videos. When that's all being edited together by my video editor, it will be balanced so that I'm still switching scenes every time I'm making a new point. It's basically like another version of batching your content. I just love batching. I'm absolutely obsessed with it, but it's another version of batching your content, right? So for example, this is the second part of this video. After this, I'm going to film the fourth part of this video. So when it's edited together, the third part will break up the locations, but I'm still able to get two scenes filmed without having to redo my whole setup. In addition to this, to make it even easier, and it's something that I always forget to do, sometimes when I remember at the start of my scene, I will say what number scene it is, so that when my video editor is editing everything and when I'm organizing the footage, it's really easy to figure out what the order is of all of the different clips. Even as I give you guys this tip, I realize that I've actually forgotten to say the scene number at the start of this scene. So I'm not perfect, but when I do remember, it really helps with the whole post-production process. Another thing that I've done recently, which has really helped to improve the quality of my content, is I've gotten better equipment. And this probably sounds like such an obvious one, but I actually avoided buying any equipment for my YouTube channel for a very long time. I started out with my phone and my ring light, and my ring light is still my main source of light, by the way. I haven't quite upgraded that yet. But however, I recently got to a stage where I was ready to invest in my YouTube channel, and as a result of that decision, I decided to buy a few pieces of gear. So let me tell you what I purchased. There will be links in the description, of course. The most significant thing that I purchased was a new camera. So I got the Sony ZV-1, which is technically a vlogging camera, but I really enjoy using it just for my sit-down videos as well. The quality is obviously amazing. It's super laptop and I've just got absolutely zero complaints with that camera so far. So I 100% recommend that if you're looking for a new camera. I also bought a new microphone. I used to use like an Amazon lapel mic, which was decent and it would cost me like £10. So it was great, and I still use it sometimes, to be honest, when I'm being a bit lazy. But I decided to upgrade and get a Rode microphone, and that has been a game changer as well. I even had someone message me saying that English is not their first language and they previously found it difficult to understand me when I had my lapel mic, and they now find it easier now that I've got a better microphone, which is super interesting and just great to have that kind of feedback so that you know you're spending money in the right places. So that was worth it as well. And I got a tripod. So I previously used to use my ring light as my tripod as well as my lighting device. And when you get a camera and you try to fit your camera in your ring light, I mean, it just doesn't work. Like, you're basically sacrificing your camera when you do that because it's just gonna fall out, and you don't wanna do that for your new camera. So I bought a tripod. It's not a fancy one, but it gets the job done. Again, link in the description. The only other two things that I bought that I think are quite significant is a wide angle lens adapter. So you can't actually put lenses on your Sony ZV-1, but you can use this wide angle lens adapter, which just helps me get a bit more depth because I really don't like my face being all up in the screen. So with the wide angle lens adapter, it just gives me a bit more space. I don't think you guys want to be all up in my face either. So this is good for both of us. Last but not least, I got the Sony grip, which I can actually show you because I'm not using that right now. Where is it? Hold on. Found it. So this is the Sony grip, which, I mean, it's pretty spenny, I'm not gonna lie to you, and there's probably better grips out there, but it is a Bluetooth grip, which means that it's like wireless, I suppose, and it works really well, but I'm not gonna sit here and say this is the best like grip that you can get for your camera, because I'm sure there's probably better grips which are probably a bit cheaper as well. So those are the pieces of equipment that I've bought, which I think has had a huge impact on the quality of my footage. There's still more things that I'm going to buy. I'm going to upgrade my lighting at some point, but you know, these things cost money, and I'm not going to spend all of that money on equipment in one go. So if you're like me and you're going through a phase where you want to start investing in your YouTube channel, just know that you don't have to buy everything at once. You can buy one thing per month over the next year, spread out the costs a bit so it doesn't hurt your bank account too much. The next change I can't take credit for because it is very much down to my video editor and his incredible skills. But towards the end of last year, I had a conversation with my editor and I just said, I really want to do more to make my videos as engaging as possible. So we had a conversation and we've been working back and forth on this, and a few ways that he's managed to do this is, one, by adding more stuff to the screen. So adding text to the screen to emphasize the points that I'm making, adding screenshots and screen recordings whenever relevant really helps as well, throwing graphics in there, throwing in like pop culture references, whatever it is, if there's a place for it and it makes sense, we're going to try and feature it in our videos just to make it a little bit more interesting. Another thing that my editor does that isn't a new thing that he does, but I really think it makes a big difference to my videos, especially when you compare the poor editing that I used to do when it was just me doing it, is he does this thing where he zooms in and out when I'm making different points. The reason why I love it when he does this is because it makes my sit down talking head footage a little bit more dynamic, just simply by zooming in and out when I'm making certain points or between certain shots. I really hope he doesn't get annoyed that I'm just spinning all of his secrets, because I've not got permission to talk about this, but it's something that he does and I really think it helps improve the quality of my content. Something else that I really think has helped improve the quality of my videos is actually more to do with me and my presenting style. So let me give you some context here, right? Previously, if I was trying to deliver a point which required me to say like 1 or 2 sentences in one go, if I messed up a few times during those sentences, I would just pick up from where I had messed up rather than redoing the whole point. This isn't a problem and I still do this sometimes. However, what this often leads to is there being loads of cuts in between your footage, because my video editor would cut out where I made a mistake, and if I was constantly doing that when I'm trying to deliver one point, then that one point becomes really chopped up and difficult to follow. So instead, what I've been trying to do, and this is very much a work in progress, is to try and deliver my points in one go, give myself a bit of a break, and then try and deliver the next point. This just helps with the cutting of the video and it helps make everything flow a lot easier. There's actually a video that I watched on TikTok which is really helping me with this, and it was from this woman who is like a public speaker, and she explained this exercise that she used to do when she was like training to be a public speaker, I guess. Is that something that you train for? It must be, right? So the exercise basically involved picking a subject and speaking about that subject for 60 seconds straight without using any filler words like or like. And if you used a filler word, then whoever you're doing the exercise with would call you out and you'd have to start again. So I've been trying to do that a lot recently, like even just by myself when I'm at home, because I feel like it's going to help me when it comes to public speaking, but also delivering my points a lot more seamlessly in my YouTube videos. So it's very much a work in progress, but I really feel like it's helping to improve the quality of my video content. This next tip is most relevant to people who create similar styles of content to me. So kind of educational sit down type of content where you have to prep your notes or your prompts in advance. And the tip here is such a simple one, but what I've started to do recently is I will only prep for my videos immediately before I film them. How this differs from what I used to do is I previously would just schedule time to prepare for my YouTube videos just whenever I could within the week. So for example, I might spend an hour or so prepping for a YouTube video on Monday, and then I would film the video on Wednesday. The result of that would be that we'd get to Wednesday and then I'd have to spend another 15 to 20 minutes reviewing my notes and my prompts and reminding myself what I'd written down. Whereas by switching this up and preparing for my videos immediately before shooting my videos, I'm allowing myself to make the most of the fact that I'm in the zone. When I spend half an hour, however long it takes prepping for a video, I'm very much getting myself in the zone of whatever topic it is that that video is going to be about. Like, I'm thinking about different things I'm going to say, how I'm going to say them, how I'm going to land my point. So if I then film the video immediately afterwards, I find it so much easier to communicate because the content is just fresh in my mind. So that's a tip for anyone who creates similar content to me. So those are all of the main changes that I made to my content, which has led to my views, my watch hours, and my subscribers recently increasing over the past 28 days. If you found this video useful, I recommend subscribing because I upload new content every single week. If you want to hang around, I recommend watching this video. It is all about my consistency hack that I use to remain consistent across multiple social networking platforms, including YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I will see you in my next video.